Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 2 of what if Naruto was banished and got a supernatural ability. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also go ahead and check out the new episode of what if Naruto was a badass genius. And go ahead and enjoy that, guys. And later on this channel, I'm going to be posting a new episode of what if Naruto was a god amongst man. So stay tuned for that, and I hope you guys enjoy. And over on Anime King, I'm going to be posting what if Naruto was from the two greatest clans for you guys to enjoy as well. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin this new episode. Start the intro.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails.
So, the last time we left off, after defeating Sasuke, in this time around, Naruto defeated Sasuke at the Valley of the End, as the both of them were knocked unconscious in the finals. As Kakashi arrived and brought the both of them back to Konoha. In the council meeting Naruto was called to, Danzo said that he will be banished from the village from harming Konoha ninjas, and from his risks of emotions taking over him and allowing him to free the Kyuubi. Tsunade was outraged as the elders agreed to this as well, as Tsunade wouldn't let this happen and she was cursing at Danzo. But Naruto told her that it's okay. After all he tried, after so much he tried for this village, after all he gave for it to become a ninja, to protect them all, they still treat him and see him as a monster. As Naruto ran out of there, everyone heard about this got crushed, as they all were waiting at the gate for Naruto, with his bag on his back as he was heading off. As Naruto talked to all of them, Hinata did something she never thought she'd be able to do. She kissed him as she confirmed her feelings to him, telling him that she's always loved him. As Naruto hugged her, the time was too late though, he was going to be banished from the village. As Naruto said his goodbye to all of them, as he headed off with tears streaming down his face. As Naruto was walking, some time passed as Naruto found himself at a campfire as the Kyuubi was talking to him, as he kept on calling him Kyuubi, 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 as Kurama said that my name is Kurama, get it through your head, as he started calling him by his original name. As Naruto went through the scroll that Jiraiya gave him, to surprise that his father was Minato Namikaze, his mother known as Kushina Uzumaki. There was also other notes that was from his mother and his mother heritage of Uzu, as Minato left behind his entire life saving in that scroll for Naruto, and if Naruto must say it was a lot. So with that, Naruto headed off, as he found a nice place that was fit for a daimyo. Well, he had a lot of money. As that night Naruto was lying down, as Naruto went through some changes as well. His mother he was red and he liked the red color, perhaps he should change his image, so he dyed his hair red and also got some new clothes. As Naruto saw something drop from the sky, he quickly went out in the forest to find a strange object as it was pulsating with black veins. The moment he touched it, he let out a wave that blew him back. As Naruto woke up the next morning as Kurama told him what happened, as Naruto remembered everything. When Naruto got home, he started to experience strange things. Things started to move towards him, as Kurama quickly deduced that he was using telekinesis. As Naruto was shocked, as he started to get a handle of the power, but his nose was bleeding whenever he used it too much. So that night Naruto went out in the forest to try and use it on larger objects, as Kurama told him that he must train his mind to get better at his abilities. When he was attacked by Root Envoys, as they told him that Danzo ordered his execution, as Naruto was beyond pissed, he left and now they're trying to kill him. As he raised his hand as all of them were lifted up into the air. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So, what do you say we begin this new episode? How about I put you all out of your misery instead, Naruto said, as he was clenching the fist, as the entire group of Anvus were crying out, as they felt their bodies being crushed in and out. As Naruto's nose started to bleed, but he didn't stop as he twisted his wrist, as he then heard snap, as all of their necks broke. Naruto overexerting his ability, as the blood loss, Naruto fell over, as he passed out unconscious. Inside of the mindscape, Kurama looked down at Naruto, who was drifting off in the water just sleeping. I warned him about overexerting himself, but does he listen to me? No, Kurama said. That power of his seems more than it is worth if he doesn't learn how to control it. Suddenly Kurama saw a glow come from his seal on the cage that took a form of two glowing apparitions. One had a yellow glow on his head and appeared to be wearing a long coat, and the second appeared to have a long red coat going down the back. The apparitions stood over Naruto as they placed a hand on his cheeks. Naruto twitched from the touch as he saw two apparitions in front of him, as he noticed a yellow and red glow. "Who's there?" Naruto said. "Wait, who are you?" But he couldn't get to say anything else, as he was snapped from that as he woke up back in the real world. Time had passed as he noticed he was in a room as he jumped up, but he was pushed back down slightly by the nurse. What happened?" he said. "Easy there, don't overdo it," the woman said. "Finally awake, huh?" the doctor said. "What happened? How did I get here?" Naruto asked, looking around his hospital room. "Some campers found you passed out in the woods outside town. Your nose was covered in your own blood," the doctor explained. "Was anyone else with me?" Naruto asked, after remembering what happened. "Actually, 5 Anvu guards are found dead near to you. What happened out there?" the nurse asked. Naruto had to think fast, so he told him a quick lie. "Actually, I don't remember that much. They appeared in front of me and told me to get down, and in a flash I black out. They must have been after something or someone." "Logical. But how come they all were dead and you were only passed out with a bloody nose?" the doctor asked. "Just luck, I guess," Naruto said. "Definitely lucky. Whoever attacked those Anvus really wring their necks," the doctor said. "Well, you just rest easy now," the nurse said. "We will be right back." As the both of them left, "Kurama," Naruto said, "did I really?" "Yes, you did. You killed those rude Anvus using your power, but it was dangerous to you to use it in that state of your pure anger. Hey, can you blame me when they told me they were trying to assassinate me?" "Actually, I can," said Kurama. "What?" Naruto said, as he was shocked by that. That old geezer Danzo was right about one thing. You're unable to control your emotions. Naruto wanted to argue back, but he knew if he argued back, it will only prove Kurama and Danzo's point. "So what can I do?" he said. "You can start by not letting your emotions get the better of you." "You mean stop feeling anything?" Naruto said. "I am not asking you to suppress your emotions, only to control it better. Well, specifically, your anger. You can see how dangerous your power is. And if you act out anyway around innocent people like that, you can also put them in danger." As Naruto thought about this, Kurama was right. He did let his anger get the best of him more than once, when he thought that Haku killed Sasuke, when Neji was talking down to him at Chunin exams, to even when in the academy years when Sasuke was always treated better. "You're right, if I'm gonna use it, I need to have better control over my emotions." "You're starting to see reason. What a enormous step for you," Kurama said in a sarcastic tone. "Okay, don't start mocking me now. Sorry, but you know there's a problem now. When Danzo finds out that his Anvus are a murderer, he will send more to kill you," Kurama said. "I could tell Bachan, but that wouldn't make sense, since I can't trace this back to Danzo. He will be sure to have an alibi. If you did tell her, you'll have to come up with another lie about how they die, and she would see right through you, kid. Yeah, she'd probably send some of her own Anvus keep tabs on me, and then I'll really feel like I've been watched." "So, what will you do?" Kurama asked. "I will keep it in the dark for now from her. If it gets too dangerous though, I'll have to tell her. But who knows, if I get my mind sharp enough and stronger, probably I can use my telekinesis without overdoing it, and I can destroy and push away any Anvus Danzo send after me. Don't get ahead of yourself, or are you forgotten that there are bigger problems out there that you have to be worried of? Or have you forgotten what the perverted man told you about?" the organization known as the Akatsuki, Naruto recalled. Yes, you remember the two you ran into that time. Itachi Uchiha practically destroyed his brother Mine using his Mangita Sharingan, and Kisame cut your chakra in half when using his sword to devour it. Do you really think that you would stand a chance against them with that power? Kurama said. Obviously not, Naruto said. That's more of a reason I have to push myself and get stronger. So, I won't let anything happen. Then, I suggest you hightail it out of this town before Danzo get word of his Anbu dead. Right, Naruto said. Soon enough he left the hospital and went back to his hotel. Naruto then went to purchase a brown coat with the hood up. Well, Kurama, from this point on, I have to learn how to control this power for both of our sakes. I don't know which other problem will cross our path from now on, but we will face it together. Don't go getting all nostalgia on me, Naruto, please, Kurama said. Afraid of being sentimental? Naruto asked. Shut up, said Kurama. Naruto chuckled as he walked down the path, as he remembered those two people he saw in those gaze, that yellow and red. It had to be them. As he remembered the photo, just a glance. But how? But how? He wondered to himself, as he kept on walking down the dirt road. Time skip. A week has passed since Naruto left that town to control his power. During that week, he learned more about his psychic power and his ninja skills, how to control them even more. Thanks to the things he got from Jiraiya, he started training all 5 elements, but the element he pushed harder in was wind. Thanks to the chakra paper that was there, he found out that his main element was wind. He was also working on his dad formula for the Hairushin, as he was getting really close. He hasn't perfected yet, but he will get a hand of it soon. And he has been also improving his psychic power, able to lift a larger object. Currently, he was by a stream, as he was doing push-ups with 10 clones helping him. And 200, Naruto said, as he finished. Alright boys, take 5, he said, as all the clones got up and dispelled, as all the efforts were transported back into him. Naruto wiped off the sweat with a towel, as he extended his hand as a bottle of water fly over to him, as he drank it. Another successful workout, he said. And to think, you've only been at it for a week now, Kurama said. I thank the true purpose of the Shadow Clone Jutsu, Naruto said, because without that he wouldn't be able to figure his father Hairushin technique so easily, as Shadow Clone is really a wonderful ability. Everything they learn or what effort they put into training comes right back to me when they dispel. But you know, Kurama, there is something I've been wondering about my power. What about it, Kurama said. Well, I know I have the power to move things from one place to another, but do you think I can use it on myself? On yourself, Kurama said. Yeah, just hear me out. What if I can use my power of levitation to float myself to one place to another? In other words, fly, Kurama said. Yeah, Naruto said. Well, I'm not sure, but granted, we don't know the full capabilities that object grant you. It can be possible. Then let's put it to a test, Naruto said as he got back up and stood in the open space of the hill. Just gotta concentrate on myself. Some of the pebble by his feet was levitating from his brain power. As Naruto started to lift off the ground, whoa, it's as crap, he said, as he fell down and landed on his face. Real good in eating dirt, said Kurama. Oh, shut up, Naruto grumbled, as he got back to his feet. Another try, he said, as he started to levitate again, as he concentrated really hard until he was up to a tree height. You're actually doing it, Kurama said as he was surprised. I know, I'm flying, Naruto said. Whoa, this is so cool, he said as he started to put his hand behind his head, like he was sleeping in the air. Whoa, but I wonder, how high can I go? Don't be too hasty, kid. If you went too far up and your power gives out, you can fall to your death. I could just summon the Chief Toad so he can catch me. Wishful thinking, but do you really think that Gamabunta would be happy if you summon him to catch your fall? Said Kurama. As Naruto realized, Gamabunta was a grudgy type when it comes to being summoned for petty reason. Yeah, he'd be pissed. But still, flying through the clouds, that would be incredible. It's not all that much stuff to be, said Kurama. How do you figure, Naruto said. Have you ever heard of a tale named Icarus? No, who's that, Naruto said. It's a boy who sought freedom by using wings from his father, wax and feathers. He ignored the warnings of not flying too close to the sun, as he got too close and the wax melted and the feathers are blown away as he fell into the middle of the ocean where he drowned. I see, but Icarus didn't have psychic power, Naruto said. As Kurama sighed, the point I'm trying to get through your skull is, if one aim too high, with a cocky attitude they will crash and burn. I see your point, Naruto said. Well, I won't be cocky when using it. Or, I won't fly into the sun. Well then, I better get a move on, he said. As he wasn't moving. What's wrong, Kurama asked. Well, how exactly do I go down? Dumbass, Kurama said. Meanwhile, in Konoha, what? Danzo said, as he was in his root underground base in front of one of his men. My roots were killed? I'm afraid so, Danzo-sama. All 5 of them had their necks broken. How did this happen, Danzo said. We're not quite sure, but do you perhaps think that it was Uzumaki? Preposterous. That Kyuubi brat wouldn't have the strength to fight off my Anbu, nor would he be able to call in demonic power so quick before they attack him. What do we do now, sir? The man asked. Send another 5 to follow the trail from where he was last seen, and fan out from there, and eliminate him. Yes, sir. I do not know how you were able to avoid my Anbu, brat, but you will be fine and eliminated. Back with Naruto, he was flying through the clouds as he was cheering. This is a lot easier than I thought, he said as he flipped in the air. I may never walk again. I wouldn't recommend that, Naruto. If you stop exercising your legs, they will become so short you wouldn't be able to stand at all. It's just a thought, Kurama. I'm just so excited. How many ninjas out there can fly to this level? In the stone village, a tiny old man sitting on his deck sneezed. Do you require medicine? Tsuchikage-sama, his guard asked. I don't need any medicine. I do not have a cold, the old man said. As his back then cracked. I could use some ointment for my back, he said. At once, the guard said. Back with Naruto. Get out of the way, Naruto said as he slammed into a seagull. The thing started screaming in his face as Naruto threw it aside. As the bird then looked at him and gave him a strange glare, as it almost seemed threatening, and then the bird dived down. Looks like he understands me, Naruto thought. Hey, Kurama, you know the best thing? If I fly this high, there is no way Danzo root agents can ever find me. I should probably stop though and restock on supplies and food, he said as he saw land up ahead. He then heard a scream. It could be trouble, he thought. As he flew downward towards the forest, as he landed a tree, as he looked out, a young girl about his age was tied to a tree. 3 enemy ninjas were surrounding her. She had dark green eyes, with long blonde hair that went into her back, with a sizable bust. She wore a light violet and a white top, a short skirt with black shorts, and high boots. The ninjas surrounding her wore rain headbands, while the lead one had green hair and an umbrella on his back. Wait, I know that guy, Naruto said. Yeah, I saw his face in the bingo book. Ayo Rokusho. Jonin 11 ninja from Konoha, missing Nin. Trick another Konoha ninja into stealing the second Hokage Raijin's sword and fled the village. Are you about to do what I think you're about to do? Kurama said. If you think I'm about to save that girl, then you're right. And why? You don't know that girl. Yeah, maybe I don't, but she doesn't deserve to be killed by slime like that, Naruto said, motioning towards Ayo. Kurama sighed, and there was no point stopping him now. Do what you got to do, he said. And I will, Naruto said, as he placed his cloak back over his head to keep his identity covered. Back with the girl, she was nervous as Ayo pulled out a sword, as the hilt started to get charged up with lightning chakra. Normally, I kill the witness, but seeing that you came with 2 Kiri Shinobi, I can make some use of ransoming you. You'll pay for this, the girl said. No, you stupid girl. Your comrades will pay me for your safety, Ayo said. Naruto was hiding behind a tree as he peeked around as he saw a stick behind the other 2 rain ninjas. As Naruto let the stick levitate and poke one of the ninjas with it, he quickly spun around but he saw no one. As he poked the other ninja, but nothing when he turned around. Naruto then used the ability to let a leaf swirl around like a sunshine when someone appeared. Hey boss, one of the ninjas spoke to Ayo. What is it? Ayo asked. I think someone's here. Then go and deal with it, Ayo said. The 2 rain ninjas nodded as they went towards where the leaf cyclone was drawing their umbrella weapons. As they got close to the leaf cyclone, a little leaf fell, What was that about? One of them asked. I have no idea, the other one said. Suddenly they started to scream as they were being lifted off the ground as they were pulled into the tree. Hearing them scream, Ayo spun around seeing that his boys were gone. Guys, as he held his sword ready for anything, and he then started to leaf swirling around him. As he started to swing his sword, as he started to slice the leaves, but they were so small they started to pile on him, getting all over his face. Get off, he said, as some of them were even going in his mouth as he spat out some of them. The girl looked around and wondering what he's doing this. She then heard psst as she turned to see Naruto, but he had a finger at his lip telling her to keep quiet. She did so as Naruto cut her free. Once she was free, she went behind him, hiding, as she did feel safer hiding behind him. Hey, Ayo said after seeing the girl got free. Don't you know it's not nice to pick on girls, Naruto said. What the hell did you do to my man? Ayo asked. See for yourself, Naruto said. As Ayo turned to see a shadow clone of Naruto levitate his subordinates down, as they were knocked up and tied up. Who are you? Ayo asked. Let's just say I'm a newt named Predator, Naruto said, with a smirk under his hood. Don't talk shit with me, boy, unless you wanna die, Ayo said, aiming the Raijin sword at Naruto. That doesn't belong to you, Naruto said. And how would you know? Ayo asked. Because that's the second Hokage Raijin sword, and I would like you to give it to me, Naruto said, holding his hand out. How about I give you a taste of its power? As Ayo dashed forward, but he couldn't run anymore because he was being lifted from the ground. What the hell? As he noticed Shadow Clone was holding his hand up, using telekinesis to lift him up. If you don't mind, I'll be taking that, the real Naruto said, as the sword was pulled from Ayo's hand and landed firmly in Naruto's grip. Give me that, Ayo said. Bye bye, Naruto said. As the clone pulled him back with so much force, he smashed into a tree headway, knocking him out as the clone tied him up. Naruto then turned to the girl. You alright? Yeah, I'm fine, she said, as she was in awe to what just happened. What was with these three and you anyway? Naruto asked. I am traveling with some allies of mine. We were on a mission to gather intel. I was supposed to meet up back with them 10 minutes ago, before him and his goons jumped me, she said. I tried fighting back as hard as I could, but they were too much for me. Well, you're just lucky I showed up when I did, Naruto said. I am. By the way, what's your name? She asked. It's common courtesy to introduce yourself first, Naruto said. At least that is what I was told. Naruto said, as you remember, Sasuke used it before once on Neji, when they meet at the beginning of the Chunin exams. Well, my name is Hotaru. And you? Naruto smirked under his hood. Naruto, he said, it's very nice to meet you, Hotaru. Hotaru, a voice called out. The two looked as two ninjas wearing Kira headbands dropped in. One was an adult wearing an eye patch, and the second was a boy, who was carrying a rather large blade, as it made Naruto think of Kisame looking at the boy, from the sword wrapped in cloth. Are you alright? The boy asked, looking at Hotaru. Who's this? The man asked, as he noticed a hilt in Naruto's hand, thinking that he was going to attack. Did he try to hurt you? But Hotaru stopped the both of them. Stop, he didn't do anything, she said. What do you mean, Hotaru? The blue ear boy asked. Kojo, this boy, saved me from these three shinobis. As she motioned towards the boys tied up. The two looked at Naruto. The man the eye patch spoke. His name was Ayo, as well. We're sorry for suspecting you, he said. Hotaru is still training the arts of ninja. Her master requests that we take her on this mission to improve her ninja skills. What it really was an excuse to get rid of me, Hotaru said, as she crossed her arms under her well-developed chest, making her to blush. He was thankful his hood was covering his face so they wouldn't notice. I believe introductions are in order, Naruto said. Oh yes, Hotaru said. This is Kojo and Ayo, she said. And guys, this is Naruto. Nice to meet the both of you, Naruto said, giving a small bow. Likewise, said Kojo, bowing as well. I will give a bow once you remove your hood. After all, it's hard to trust someone's face you cannot see. Ayo said on guard. Naruto hearing that debated on whether or not to do it, but he didn't want to start to make enemies. As he removed his hood, as Hotaru looked at him, he was quite handsome. That scarlet red hair, those ocean blue eyes and those whisker marks, she thought. Started to sound doubtful, but how did one boy like yourself took on these three rain ninjas without getting an injury? Ayo asked. They couldn't touch me, Naruto said. What? Said Kojo. Yeah, he stopped their leader by making him fly into mid-air and slammed him into a tree. Mid-air, Ayo said, hoping that she wasn't talking nonsense as he looked at Naruto to explain. Let's just say I'm very skilled at wind manipulation, Naruto explained. And what village are you associated with, Ayo asked. None, Naruto said. None? Said Kojiro. Yeah, I'm a traveling ninja. I have no specific loyalty to any village or any nations. Leader, Naruto said. Now if you don't mind, I would like to turn these three into the nearest bounty office and collect some fee. Of course. But if you would like, I would like to make a request of you, Ayo said. A request? Naruto asked. Ayo nodded. When you turn them in and collect their fee, would you please come back to us with Kiri and meet our Mizukage? Naruto was taken aback. See your village leader? And for what reason, he asked. Just so she can properly thank you for helping, Hotaru. She does value all her devoted ninja, Ayo said. I see, Naruto said. Kurama, should I go along with them? You probably should, unless you want to dishonor these two shinobi's acts of standing down, other than attacking you. Hell, you can simply fly off if they gang up on you anyway, Kurama said. Right, Naruto said. Alright then, I'll join you. Alright then, let us show you to the nearest bounty office, said Kojiro. Thank you, Naruto said, as Kojiro walked next to Naruto, making him blush. Man, this girl is cute. I wonder if she's single. Kid, you know it's gonna be hard for you to maintain a relationship, seeing how that you're banished, and wondering how you're gonna stay alive. It was just a thought, Kurama, Naruto chuckled. In the nearest town, Naruto dropped off the goons and collected his fee. I surely made a lot off of these three, Naruto said. If I knew that bounty hunting was this much, I would have trained for this purpose as well. I wonder if Akatsuki members have bigger bounty than this. Don't get ahead of yourself, Naruto. Compared to the Akatsuki, those guys a minute ago was nothing. I know, Naruto said as he left the office with Ayo, Kojiro, and Hotaru waiting for him. Alright, I'm done. Take me to your Mizukage, Naruto said. Follow us, Ayo said as they headed for the docks and got a boat ride as they headed for Kiri. That night, as the boat was going towards Kiri, Naruto was levitating some coins in his hands. How can you really do that? Asked Kojiro as he approached Naruto with Hotaru. I told you, I'm a wind manipulator, Naruto said. But you didn't do any hand signs or anything, said Kojiro. I'm a very special case, Naruto said, so I don't have to use hand signs, believe me. I've seen my very share of ninjas with unique abilities ranging from natural and bloodline limits. Well, you got me there, said Kojiro. By the way, Kojiro, what should that thing you got wrapped on your back, Naruto asked. Oh, this? Oh, this is my sword, Haramakurin. I was given this when I was selected to become the new member of the 7 Ninja Swordsman. Naruto eyes widening hearing the title. Did you say 7 Ninja Swordsman? Yes, why? Is that a problem? Kojiro asked. Oh, not at all. It's just that I ran into someone months ago who came from the same team. Naruto explained. What? Who? Just about every member of the original swordsman disbanded years ago for, as Naruto finished for him, and failed assassination of the feudal lord. Yeah, that's what I heard. You know of a tall guy named Zabuza? Zabuza Mamakai? You met him? Kojiro gasped. Yeah, and I honestly wish I could say I fought him, but I didn't. Instead I fight his partner, who has a ice blood line. Whoa, Naruto, what was it like? Standing in the presence of the demon of Kiri. Well, I felt the air around me becoming cold, along with a lot of mist. And that giant sword of his, whoa. But for the demon of Kiri, he wasn't that heartless, Naruto said. What do you mean? Asked Hotaru. He may have the reputation of a cold-hearted killer, but deep down, he has an honor and love for his partner, Naruto said. As Naruto remembered the words that Zabuza said to him, Hey kid, your words. They cut deep, deeper than any blade. As he had tears in his eyes, as he looked over at his partner. Even if you're trained to be a personal killer, you'll always have emotions in you. We're all humans, aren't we? Naruto said. You're absolutely right, Hotaru. Kojiro yawned. Well, I'm going to bed now. Catch you all tomorrow morning, he said, as he went inside the ship's cabin. As Naruto continued looking out into the sea, as Hotaru sat next to him, Naruto, she said. Huh? I want to know, where did you come from, she asked. Naruto was surprised she asked something like that, but he felt hesitant given his past. Should I tell her? Or maybe she will treat me like someone else. Well, Cram was right this morning, I could just fly off if anything doesn't go my way. Well, the village I previously came from. It wasn't a place I was happy to call my home, Naruto said. How come, she asked. Well, I was born an orphan. I didn't know my mother or my father. Growing up wasn't really a happy life. For reasons I did not know, I would receive beating from the villagers. I would be overcharged for expired foods. Even had my own apartment ransacked. Whenever I asked someone why I'm treated so poorly, they just told me I kill a lot of innocent life. And I only caused nothing but pain. As Naruto clenched his fist. What? Why would they say something like that? You don't look like the kind to harm anyone, especially after saving me. Yeah, I thought I didn't know something they knew. And it turns out they did. And they let their emotions and their rage blind them of seeing what I truly am. What didn't you know back then, she asked. Well, I'm a Jinchuriki, Naruto said. A Jinchuriki? She gasped. So you heard of them, had you? I have. In fact, my master is one. He is, Naruto said, taken aback by that. Yes, now I understand what you mean. My master said that he was cast out, treated like a monster, just because he had one of them sealed inside of him. Truth is, there are still some that treat him that way, but he no longer let them get to him. He only gets stronger such that he can protect himself and anyone he truly cares about. Like me, she said. I see, said Naruto. So what else? She asked. Well, during my time, I formed a rivalry with one of the boys in the academy. He was Mr. Popular. Because of his reputation and his clan, every girl in the academy wanted him. But me, all I wanted to do was surpass him. I thought you were my friend because both of us worked together to get stronger. But that was all a lie, Naruto said. He was just a blind fool obsessed with revenge for the massacre of his family. He attempted to go New Nin so he can get stronger from another New Nin. I was sent to stop him and bring him back. When I did, the council banished me for nearly killing him. What? She said, how the hell can they do that? They're the council. They think they're so superior and they can do whatever they want. So they use it as an excuse to banish me. They have hated me for a long time, but they finally find a way to get rid of me, Naruto said. Naruto then felt his head being dragged down as she pulled him into a tight hug. As Naruto had to blush because she buried his face close to her chest. I'm so sorry, she whispered. For what? Naruto said. For making you remember your life. You were wrongfully treated for something you had no control over. You didn't deserve to be treated like a plague. I'm so sorry, she said. She hugged his head tighter, making him blush. Whoa, these things are soft. No wonder Earth Sennin has a fascination for them. But he snapped out of it before she noticed. As they break the hug. Thank you, Naruto said. But I'm okay, really. In fact, being banished was about the greatest thing that ever happened to me. It's giving me a chance to start a new life and such. Isn't there anyone you miss in your village, she asked. Yeah, quite a lot, Naruto said. And they all treated me like a person. But not even then can keep me from getting banished. But I'll always remember them because the greatest friends are the one you cannot forget. Hotaru smiled as she leaned her head on his shoulder. I couldn't agree with you more, Naruto, she said. Soon, the both of them fall asleep as Ayo came out. As he went for a blanket and placed it over the both of them. Mei-sama would love to see this, he thought. As he went to get some sleep for himself. The next morning, Naruto slowly opened his eyes. But he couldn't see anything. Have I gone blind? He wondered. But he noticed it was just fog. Hey, what's going on? He said. Hotaru stood up. We made it, she said. Made it? Naruto said. Yes, welcome to here, Naruto, Ayo said as him and Kojiro approached. As Naruto looked and saw a village coming into clear. Whoa, so this is scary. It is really the village hidden in the mist, he said. As he could not see anything up to this point, but now he could see the village. That's the way the climate is around our village every year, said Ayo. As they led Naruto into the village, as they went inside the building, as they came to a stop, as Ayo knocked, come in, as all of them entered the office, as the Mizukage was sitting down, as Naruto couldn't help but stare. My god, this woman was beautiful. Mei-sama, we have returned from a reconnaissance mission, said Ayo. Good work, all three of you, she said. Though we did run into a bit of trouble, mainly Hotaru, he said, under his breath, as Hotaru scolded at him. I see, the woman said, crossing her arms. She was attacked by 3 ninjas from the rain until our friend here helped her. said Kojo, pointing at Naruto. Mei smiled. Oh my, who is this piece of handsome, she said. As that made Naruto blush like crazy, but he had to keep himself calm. It's Naruto, Mizukage-sama. Naruto, what a beautiful name, she said, making him laugh nervously. Ahem, Naruto, I present to you the 5th Mizukage of Kiri, Mei Terumi, Ayo introduced the woman. An honor, ma'am, Naruto said, bowing his head. No need to be formal now, she then looked him over. How did you manage to help Hotaru here? From 3 ninjas. As Kojo was the one to answer, apparently he had some kind of special wing manipulation to defeat all of them before they could even land a hand on him. Mei looked curious about this as she turned to Hotaru. Is this true? Yes, I didn't believe it until I saw it with my own eyes, Mei-sama, she said. She then turned to Naruto. For what reason did you decide to help Hotaru? For one thing, she wouldn't have stand a chance against the 3 who cornered her, and it was the right thing to do, Naruto said. What village are you from, she asked. None, I am a traveling ninja with no specific loyalty to any village or nation leader. Well, every ninja have to start somewhere. Or, are you a Newton yourself, she asked, looking at him curiously. No, I am a banished ninja, Naruto said. Banished? She asked, raising an eyebrow. But before she could say anything else, the door opened up to reveal a man that stepped inside. Sorry to interrupt, Mizukage-sama, I didn't know you were having a meeting, the man said. Until Hotaru spoke. Utakata-sama, she said. Oh, Hotaru, you're back. I didn't expect you to be back for a couple of days, he said. You wish, she said. As Naruto looked at the man also looked back at Naruto. This is strange, Naruto said. You feel it, right, kid, said Kurama. Is he one, Naruto said. Yes, the chakra radiating off of him is from Saikon, the Rokubai. Utakata was also thinking, Saikon, is this boy also like me? Yes, he's the one that controlled Kurama. The Kyuubi, a demonic voice told him back. I see, Utakata said. Just in time, Mei said, Utakata, I would like you to meet our guest. Naruto, this is Utakata, Hotaru's master. Naruto approached him, extending his hand. Nice to meet ya, he said, as Utakata took it and shook it. Likewise. Kojo and Ayo, would you two mind leaving for now? While I have a word with these 3, Mei said. Of course, Mizukage-sama, Kojo said. But if you want, my lady, I can wait outside, Ayo said. But she then turned towards him with a sweet smile on her face. I said this, miss, as an ominous aura was coming from her. Yes, my lady, he said, and left the room with Kojo. Wow, just as scary as Bachan, Naruto thought. Now, Mei said, for starters, your last name would happen to be Uzumaki, now would it? She asked, looking at him. Naruto was surprised. How does she know my last name? Kurama, what do I do? What you always do. Do what comes natural. Well, as a matter of fact, yes, he admitted. Mei smiled. I figure as much. But how do you know that last name? Naruto asked, confused. Because I was once friends with Uzumaki. Her name is Kushina. As Naruto was shocked to hear that. You knew my mom? He said. Hotaru and Utakata turned to Naruto in shock. Mom? The both of them said. Mei looked serious and also relief. So it's true that Kushina did have a child. Named Naruto. I'm lost here. How do you know my mom? Naruto asked. Well, Naruto, Kushina and I were close when we were children. You might say we were even like sisters, Mei explained. But how can that be? Mom came from Uzo. And we urgently had ties with Uzo. In fact, my father was a representative that take me there where I would play with Kushina. Boy was she a prankster, always getting into trouble, but deep down she was caring and nice. That I can believe, Naruto said. But years ago, Kushina was brought to Konoha when Uzo was destroyed, and she met someone, Minato Namikaze. I wanted to visit her, but in that reign, the 4th Mizukage Yagura ended all ties with all other nations. And I hadn't seen Kushina since then, only through letters. In fact, I received a letter about what happened to her and Minato 13 years ago, and about their child. That was you, Naruto. Minato Namikaze? Said Utakata. But that's the 4th Hokage of Konoha. Naruto is a child of a Hokage? Hotaru asked. Yes, it's true. Konoha was my former home, Naruto said. Former home? Mei asked. Yes, I'm banished, Naruto said. But why? She asked. Sit down now, explain everything, Naruto said, as he told the 3 of them about his Well, from when he was just a youngster, coming up to everything with the last battle with Sasuke and the banishment. I don't believe it, Hotaru said when Naruto finished his story. I can't believe the council would willing to favorite someone who's willing to go traitor over you, Mei said, as she was outraged. That's the way the council is, they hate Jinchuriki, or anyone who is not of their village, Naruto explained. I know exactly how you feel, Naruto, Utakata said. Yes. Hotaru also said her master was a Jinchuriki. You hold the Rokibai, right? I do, just as you hold the Kyuubi, correct? That's right. So I suppose you had the same life as I did, Naruto said. More or less, said Utakata. Then perhaps it's best if our attendants meet again, Naruto said, as he extended his hand. Utakata, not sure how this would work, took Naruto's hand, as they found themselves in a white space. Behind Utakata was the 6 tails. Behind Naruto was the 9 tails. Whoa, so that's the Kyuubi, or Kurama, said Utakata. Correct. Well, Saikon, you're looking very well for still an overgrown slug, Kurama joked. Right back at you, overgrown fox. Once again you're transferred to another Uzumaki, huh? The slug asked. Well, my last 2 was women, so it's nice to have a male host this time, Kurama said. Naruto, have you met any other Jinchuriki besides me? Utakata asked. Actually, I have. A boy in the sand, his name is Gaara, Naruto said. The sand, then you must be talking about Shikaku, Saikon said. Yeah, at first the kid was wild and out of control, but I gave him a bit of my therapy and now we're friends, Naruto explained. Yes, I agree. It's important for Jinchurikis to stick together, especially now of all times, Kurama said. How so? Utakata said. This is something the Mizukage should know as well, Naruto said, as they ended their link and found themselves back in the office. But guys, to be ending this episode right here. If you want the next part of this or know what to do, like, subscribe, comment down below and turn that bell notification to stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends in your social media platform, and stay in tune for What If Naruto was a God Amongst Man, and also What If Naruto was from the 2 greatest clans, and I hope you guys enjoy each and every episode. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support, guys, and yeah, without further ado, also go ahead and check out What If Naruto was a Badass Genius over on Anime King. So yeah, without further ado, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.